Morning YouTube, Steve here at Prairie Aquaponics. Let's give the fish a little feed to start off this update. As always, you know, goldfish are just eager little eaters. So we'll do a quick walk around here again. It's been a little cooler, so my sump's holding water better. Plants aren't sucking as much of it up. And I've been eating and ripping out of this bed, but it grows faster than we can eat it, like I said. My bead plant's getting quite large here. And it has some flowers on it, so we should see some fruit soon. I got a couple pea plants that spilling out the sides. There's some cilantro, I think. Here's another tomato I put in there for my cutting. She's doing quite well. And my kale, if I can find it, are under bean plant. So there's one back there somewhere too, but yeah, there's a leaf of it sticking out. Now for the zucchini again. Now, unless you have a lot of extra bed like I do, I would not suggest putting zucchini in an aquaponics system unless you can basically dedicate a whole bed to it, because it's taken this bed over to the point where I'm thinking about ripping out the littler one just to give me some space for some cabbage or something. There's a cluster of tomatoes that have gone out. Sorry about that, guys, the video cut off there. But there's a cluster of tomatoes that has gone quite crazy. And then another zucchini that's just got a ton of flowers in it. And I'll bring you around here. And as you can see, there's just random little zucchinis in there everywhere. So it's got to keep eating them up, I guess. Here's a bigger zucchini. Here's my pepper plant that got lost in the mess. I trimmed back my zucchini the other day and remembered it was there, and it is not doing so hot. And then there's another tomato that was also lost in the mess of zucchini. Like, this was grown right over, and I cut it back last week after the last update, and once again it's grown pretty much over everything again. So I'll just take my trimmers and come up to about here and then just cut all that off. Alright guys, I'll hit the greenhouse. I won't be hitting the garden today because it rained. You can see the smoke finally cleared up around here. The garden's over there in the muck, so won't be hitting that because it rained, but I'll hit the greenhouse and then maybe we'll do a water check a little later. Alright, time for the greenhouse update here. So, as you can tell by the yellowing on my zucchini, I'm lacking something. So I'll mix up a batch of fertilizer and give the zucchinis and the tomatoes in here some fertilizer. Here I got a male flower. And I'll show you guys what I do here just to pollinate, make sure things pollinate in here, because if you don't pollinate, you end up with little dead fruit like that. What does I do? As you can see, that's a male flower. Take my finger in there, pick up a bit of that pollen. I don't know if it'll focus, but I got some pollen on my finger there. And over here on the other guy, I have a female flower. So then I just take my finger and I pollinate the flower. I don't know why the bees don't seem to get in here, but I guess that's just the way it is. Here's my pepper. As you can see, there's flowers coming. Lots of tops for flowers, so hopefully that thing will produce something. I'm starting to think it's a sweet pepper of some kind. and I'll take you through the 3 tomatoes here. So then I got this one guy that goes all the way up to the roof, and it's just covered in flowers. And as you can see, I have some fruit starting to set in. This one, no fruit setting in yet, but the flowers are closing up, so it should be soon. This guy here, there's some flowers closing up. Looks like some fruit setting in the back there. On this guy here, we got flowers closing up. I don't see no fruit on that one. It's really hard to say though, you know. Lots of flowers on this guy here. Some closing up in the back, so there should be fruit setting in soon. Alright guys. It's a cloudy day today too. Figured I'd start to show the temperature in here. Real cloudy day, 20 degrees Celsius, which I guess is 70 degrees Fahrenheit according to that. So yeah, on average during the summer here it's 35 to 40, so that's 100 or a little better, right around the 100 mark all summer. So it gets pretty hot in here. When before I had the doors open and I opened up the 2 back panels here for vents, it hit, well, it was 45 degrees Celsius in here, so that's like 110, 115 degrees Fahrenheit, so it was way too hot. Alright guys, no garden update today. I'll go do a water check and then I'll show you that, and that'll be it for the update. Alright, time for the water check here. As usual, my pH is high, and that's because I fill from a well, so the pH out of the well is an 8 point something. After it sits in the aquaponics for a week, it's down to 7, 8 or whatever. So towards the end of the week, the nutrient, it gets right in the sweet spot. Here, my ammonia is at 0.0 or 0.50. My nitrates are at 0, and my nitrates are looking just a little above the 0 mark. So I don't know if I should up my how much I feed the fish, or if I should up the fish count itself. Oh yeah, my net pots finally came in, but can't find my hole saw, so that's put back to a little bit of a standstill. But I should have those in by the next update for sure this time, you guys. It took Amazon, oh my god, an extra 3 weeks from what they said, so yeah, I didn't even get the product yet, and they're sending me something. Oh yeah, how was your, hope you're happy with your product. So yeah. Alright guys, that's it for this week. Next week, hopefully it's drier, and we'll do a little bit of a garden update too. Alright, as always, Steve here from Aquaponics, and keep on growing, guys.